Well, this is gonna piss people off, isn't it? Yo, what's up guys? Vizeh here and welcome to another video on my channel. And today, I'm doing the entirety of the 92 from Elite to TINPOT. And this is gonna get very heated. The comments is already in a complete state and I've not even uploaded the video yet. Yeah, let's just get into the show. Now, this isn't a ultra series video. I don't really like to do too many ultra series videos. Some are obvious, some are not. Some I don't even know who they are, so I'll just make a stupid thing which I know about them. Don't take this too seriously, please don't, but please feel free and tell me how wrong I am. I probably know nothing about football. And I probably don't, to be fair. I'm a Burnley fan, so, you know, what do I watch week in, week out? Haha! Burnley jokes, get in. So as we scroll down, we've got the entirety of the 92. I believe it's the entirety. Maybe, I hope that this is this year's and not last year's. If there's some new sides in League 2 or sides which has just gone down, which is here, I do apologise. Looking through it looks fine enough to me. So with that said, I guess I've got nothing else to do but get into a absolute fun state of events. I'm definitely confident that this will not end up damaging my reputation if I had one. So again, one more time, this is not completely serious, okay? So please don't shout at me. If I do say that your team is small or average, then I do apologise. Or even worse, TINPOT. Not too many teams should be in TINPOT, to be fair. I think TINPOT is a bit rude. Let's just get into this. So I'm going to go from alphabetical order because that's the way it's sort of all organised here. So let's begin, shall we? Let's begin. So, Accrington Stanley. Let's go with their average. You know, they're kind of well known, but that's mainly because they were known for advertisement. Accrington Stanley, who are they? Like, that's main reason why people know them. You may say they're small, but like most people all seem to know about Accrington Stanley. So for that reason alone, I'll say average. Wimbledon, I still think they're a good team. I'll say average. I like the fact that they, you know, MK Dons took them. Literally, they murdered them, and then they came back. And like, I like the fact that they've become a nice little club now that I guess that everyone likes. So Wimbledon, I think they deserve to be an average. Arsenal, obviously elite. 13 first divisions, 13 FA Cups, 1 European Cup, and of course the Invincibles, by far easily in elite. Up next, Aston Villa. Now this may be a dumbed down opinion, but for me, I believe Aston Villa is elite. They're the 7th most honoured team in England, a European Cup. They've won 7 first divisions, like 13 or 15, won like 25 major honours in their entire history. So you may think that they're not in elite because they're not the biggest team now, but in comparison to all of the 92, I think that they deserve to be in that elite. So probably in between massive and elite, but I think they deserve to be in there. So Aston Villa in elite. Barnsley, I guess they're average, definitely not big, but I would say small. So Barnsley, they're an average. Birmingham, they've won 2 League Cups. But I'm pretty sure that's it. They've never won a first division. They've won anything else, nothing in Europe. But they've got a good fan base. I like Birmingham as a fan base. So should I put them in big? Thinking I can't have Birmingham in the same thing as Aki. So I'll put them in big. Up next, Blackburn Rovers. The 12th most honoured team in England. 3 first divisions, of course, Premier League back in 95. And like 8 FA Cups or League Cups. So for me, I mean, I am a Burnley fan. So I don't want to put them in massive. They're kind of in between big and massive for me. But as a Burnley fan, screw Blackburn. So they're in big, and that's it. Blackpool, for me, is average. They had a good stint in Premier League, but other than that, they've spent the majority of their history down below in the Championship and League 1. So for me, they're an average. Bolton, I'll put them in big. They had a very good period for a long period of time. And I think Bolton, all around, is a decent-sized club. Kind of similar to Birmingham. Bournemouth. Now, this is a tricky one because Bournemouth has only really been a side that people even know of since the last 7 years. Before that, they've spent the majority of their entire history in League 1, and that's it. Away fans, every time they come to Burnley, very poor. 9,000 or 10,000 is their capacity, and I really don't rate the fans. So like they all seem to be, you know, sit-down merchants. So for that reason alone, Bournemouth, small for me. Just sit-down merchants, that's all they are, man. Every time I go to Bournemouth away, there's zero noise at all. Up next, Bradford. They've got 1 honour in their entire history, and that's a cup. So yeah, I can't put them any higher than that. So Bradford, I put them in average. Up next, Brentford. Again, a decent club on the up, to be fair. I wouldn't put them in small, so again, an average. Brighton, they've won a Super Cup in their history, and that's it. So they've won at least something, so for that reason alone, in average. Bristol City, I'll put them, again, in average. Now, I don't want to put every team in average, but as of right now, That's my kind of basis, and I may change it later on. Bristol Rovers, small. They've done nothing in their history at all. Burnley, I put them in big. We're the 21st most honored team in the country. 2 First Divisions, 1 FA Cup, and we've spent a large majority of our history in the top flight. So for that reason alone, I put Burnley in big. Burton, small. I've been to their ground, and that's all I need to say about it. So Burton, there you go. They did beat Burnley though, which, you know, they're going to love that. But for me, Burton, they're small. Bury, bit of a yikes. They're no longer a club now. So I'm just going to put them down here and just move on. Cardiff got 2 cups, well, 1 Super Cup as well. And I'll probably say Cardiff again is probably average, similar to like a Bristol City. Carlisle United, Carlisle, good fans. I rate them because they go across the entire country like all the time. So I rate their fans. No one seems to like going to Carlisle, so I put them in small for me. Charlton, average, decent club. They did spend a lot of time in the top flight. In recent years, only 1 cup won in their history. So for me, Charlton an average. Chelsea, if you like it or not, they're in elite for me. 5 European Cups, the 4th most honoured team in the country. And you may say that, oh, they've only been good, you know, in the last couple of years. In the last 20 years, Chelsea has won the most trophies out of any team in England. So for that reason alone, I'm putting them in elite. Okay, Cheltenham, really don't know anything about them. So for me, they're in TINPOT for me. They're just a team that's just there, in my opinion. Colchester, I don't know anything about them, so TINPOT for me. Coventry, average. They had a good stint in Premier League, you know, in history, but again, has only won 1 cup. So Coventry in average. Crawley Town, I don't know anything about them at all. Like, if you show me the map of England, would I be able to tell you where Crawley is? And I couldn't. So for that reason alone, I'm putting them down in TINPOT. I don't even know where they are in the country. Crewe, Alessandra, Nick Powell. That's all I know about them. So for them, I'll say they're in small. They've got some sort of credibility, and they've got a recognisable name. So I'll put them there. Crystal Palace, 1 cup, and they've been an okay side across history. So for that reason alone, I put them in average. Derby County, surprisingly, they've actually won a decent amount of history. They've got 2 First Divisions and 1 cup. So I'll put them again in a big club. I think they're a decent sized club, to be fair, Derby County. Doncaster, I only really know Doncaster as a team that always gets up and down in a championship. Honestly, I'll put them in small, honestly. Everton, they're in massive. I don't think they're in elite, but they're definitely big. So I'll put them in massive. They're kind of in between elite and massive. So I think they're the point where I feel like Everton are a very big club, but I don't think they're an elite club for me. Exeter City, all I know is the down south. That's it. So I want to say TINPOT, but I like their badge, so I'll put them in small for me. Fleetwood Town, Joey Barton, decent club, but I think it'd be unfair to put them in average. So put them in small for me. Forest Green, yeah, vegans. Bottom of TINPOT. Like, they cannot be any higher. Like, they're literally at the end of TINPOT. Like, they're at the end here. Fulham, good club, beat Juventus, and I'm kind of debating putting them in big. I kind of want to put them in big, not gonna lie. Like, they're a well-known club, everyone knows about them. But this is a thing, is that Fulham has actually won nothing. They've won nothing. Like, they've almost won an FA Cup. They almost won a First Division. They've almost won a Europa League. But they've never actually won anything. So, without any actual honours, can I put them in big? No. I don't think I can. Like, they're close to... I'll put them on the edge of average. But I feel like they should be a big club. But with no actual honours, I can't put them as a big club. Gillingham, I'm pretty sure they're a team with a clap stand. Like, a very clap stand. But I know who they are, so I'm going to put them in small and just leave it on. Grimsby, everyone knows Grimsby. What is it? A fisherman's friend. Everyone seems to know who they are. So for that reason alone, I'll put them in average. But like near the back of average though, to be fair. Huddersfield, they're a team and they were in the Premier recently. So I'll put them in average, I guess. They've actually won 3 First Divisions in their history, which is, you know, great credit to Huddersfield, and also a cup as well. But no one ever sees them as a big team, I don't think. So I'll put them in average, but again, near the edge of average. In history, they've been good, but when you think of Huddersfield, you don't think big club. But I guess you may say the same thing about Burnley. But for me, Burnley has more about them than Huddersfield. So That's my point against that. Hull City, up and down in the Prem recent years. I think they're an average, to be fair. I think that's justified. I don't think they've won anything really, in terms of honours, but they're a team that everyone knows of. You know, everyone knows Hull. Very unique, very recognisable. So I'll put them in average. Ipswich Town, okay, they're a big club. They're a big club. They've won European honours. They've beat Barcelona. They beat Real Madrid. They've beat Inter Milan. They've beat some big teams in their history. They've only got one first division and one cup. Of course, in recent years, they've been very poor since like early 2000s. They've been in Championship for like almost like 20 years in a row until they went down again to League One. So I feel like I can't put Ipswich as a massive team. Up next, it's Leeds. Okay, it's Leeds, and they are, for me, in massive, not in elite. They have got 9 major honours. They got 2 Intercities Fairs Cup, so it's technically European, but it's kind of not. It's not Europa League or Champions League, so you know they have technically won a European competition, but they haven't really. They were runners up though in the European Cup at one stage. They got beat by Bayern Munich. 3 first division titles, some cups as well. They're not in elite for me, but they're definitely massive. So for me, Leeds is very similar to Everton in terms of stature for me as a club, so they're a massive. Leicester City, 1 Premier League, 3 cups, and everyone seems to know Leicester, you know, Walker's Crisp, stuff like that, man, you know, Gary Lineker, so everyone seems to know about them, so I'll say they're a big club. Leyton Orient, I know they're in London, and that's kind of it, really, so I guess they're in small. Lincoln City, they've definitely made a name for themselves, especially against Burnley, cheers guys, but again, they're a side on the up, but they haven't really been around really, you know, until recent years. Since 1985, they've been like above the 4th division for like 1 or 2 seasons. Liverpool, it's quite easy. They're in elite. They're above Arsenal, Chelsea, and Aston Villa for me, obviously. 6 European trophies, the most by any English club. 19 Premier League titles. The list goes on. Luton Town. Everyone knows about Luton, you know, the Hatters, so I'll put them in average. And Macclesfield Town, they're small for me. Don't know much about them. In theory, they're right now currently in non-league, so they shouldn't even be here, to be fair. Manchester City, okay, this is where it could be a bit of a yikes, but I don't know whether to put them in massive or elite. You could say that, oh, in the last 10 years, City has been by far, you know, an elite club, and they have been an elite club. Manchester City is the 5th most decorated club in England. But no real European success. They've won 1 Europa League, really, and that's really it. So for the same reason as Everton, like, Everton's won a lot of leagues as well, and I'll put them in massive. So for me, in terms of who do I think is a bigger club, I think City is not a bigger club than, for example, Everton by the size of the club, by fans. But, of course, next up, Man United. Easy, you know, they're up there with Liverpool, the most league titles in England. So, of course, they're there. Mansfield Town. They've got a stag as their badge. That's all I really know about them. So, TINPOT. Middlesbrough, they're in average for me. Decent sized club. They're kind of something like a Fulham, you know, that they've almost won stuff, but they haven't really. But they have at least won 1 cup. So, I guess we can maybe give them that. But I just don't think it could extend to be a big club. I think they're, you know, a near big club. So I'll put them here. Millwall, they're known for film. Like most people, when you think of Millwall, you think of, you know, Green Street. So Millwall, not a big club, but they're a decent sized club, and most people know about them, and they, you know, they rate them. MK Dons, TINPOT, TINPOT, TINPOT. Like, they literally didn't even exist until like the last 15, 20 years. Morecambe, they got a shrimp as their badge. TINPOT. Newcastle, they're massive for me. Very well known in Europe in the last couple of years. Well, last like 20 years, of course, not in recent years, but you know, in the early 2000s, late 90s, they were, you know, challenging for the title and that. In terms of fans, the 9th most decorated team in England. So for that reason alone, Newcastle is in massive. Newport County, I'll say they're in small, but they have made some good, you know, some good upsets in the cups. So I think that rises them up a bit. So there you go, Newport County fans. Northampton, people know Northampton Town because of Scott Pollock. Most people know you guys from a hashtag United player. I can't put you any higher than TINPOT. Norwich City, they're an average club for me. I want to put them as a big club. They've won 2 cups, no main leagues, and I don't know, man. I kind of want to say they're an average. Like, if Fulham's an average and, you know, Middlesbrough, I kind of want to put Norwich in there as well, man. So for me, I put Norwich in average. Nottingham Forest, they're in massive. They're massive. 2 European Cups is huge, like absolutely huge, man. But they've only won one first division as well. Keep that in mind. But they have won 8 cups in England, so not saying they're an elite, but I do think they're a massive. So for that reason alone, I'm putting them there. Oldham, they have an owl as their badge, so I like owls, so they're small. Oxford United, they have a moose, a stag, I don't know what the thing is as a badge, but I like Oxford's colours, so they're there for me. Why not? Peterborough, not a bad team as far as I'm aware. 1-0, but they're never really in League 2, so they're like on the edge of small for me. Plymouth, again, 1-0, but I like their colours, so not in TINPOT, but they're in small. Port Vale, they scored a goal against City recently, and that's all I really know about them, so I guess they're small for that goal against City. Fair play, lads. Portsmouth. Now, this is a interesting shout, this. Portsmouth, 2 league titles and, of course, 2 cups. So, they've got a decent pedigree in England. You know, it's not terrible. So, I'll put them in big. I still think the fans, I like the fans a lot. They travel quite well. And everyone seems to know who Portsmouth are. Like, no one, like, looks at Portsmouth thinking, oh, they're a bad team. Preston North End, for me, they're in big as well. The Invincibles, even though you may say it's in 1800s, it's still the Invincibles, and it's still a massive achievement. And they've also won a decent amount of league titles as well in the early years. But I kind of feel like they can't go on average, so I'll put them in big. Just for the Invincibles, I think they deserve a bit of credit for that. You know, they're the only team to do it, them and us. QPR, they were like the only team that kind of got bought out, but like they did really badly with their money. Like they were very poor. They wasted all their money on like Adel Taarabt. People know about QPR, so I'll put them in average for me. You know, they're an okay club. And Reading, same thing as QPR really. I think they're a bit better than them really, but I can't put them in big, so they're an average for me. Rochdale, everyone knows about Rochdale, but I don't think enough to put them in average. So Rochdale, up the dale, but you guys are in small. Rotherham United, you know what? As a club, I don't rate them. Don't rate Rotherham. No one cares about Rotherham. I'm putting them in TINPOT. I just don't like the badge. Salford, they're in TINPOT for me. Like, you know, they're only a team that's been here now because of the class of '92. Like, they would not be in the actual main leagues of '92 if it wasn't for an injection of all the money. You know, they got, like, what? Was it Adam Rooney from Aberdeen, which was in top to Aberdeen, playing in non-league. He shouldn't really be in that level, really, should he? So, for that reason alone, he's down here with Forest Green and MK Dons. Sheffield United, they're a big club. They're a big club. And I put Sheffield Wednesday in there as well. Both, you know, good sides. Both won some league titles. Wednesday won more than United. Both Sheffield United and Wednesday, they both have got 4 cups. But, of course, Wednesday's got, I think, 3 league titles, and Sheffield United has 1. Shrewsbury Town, I don't really know what to say for them, so I'll put them in small and move on. Southampton, they are a big club, and they've been in the top flight of English football for a while, to be fair, so I think to give them good credit, they should be in big. Southend United, they have a shrimp in their badge, so they should be in TINPOT, but they have some swords as well, so I think they should be in small. So there you go. So you have a shrimp, but they have swords, and also water and a football. So in terms of badge, they're in small. Stevenage, small. Move on. Stoke City. Stoke. They've won 1 cup. They've been in Prem for a few years, to be fair. But they have got a identity, just like Burnley. But they've never won a league title. So I'll put them as a average team, but like above, you know, in like a Norwich, Fulham sort of tier, you know, on the cusp of like big and average. Sunderland, they're a big club. They're a big club. They're in the same tier as like a Newcastle for me, or a Forest. You know, they've won a lot of league titles, more than Newcastle. 6 league titles, 2 cups. They've not done much in Europe though. Europe, they've been quite poor, but I'll say that they are a big club. Swansea City, probably say same tier as Cardiff. I think they're a very similar club to Cardiff, very similar. So I'll put them in average, to be fair. You know, good Premier League. They've won a League Cup in the process as well, so I'll put them in average. And Swindon Town, I know that they won the Premier League in like the early years of the Premier League. I know they were up there then, but that's it. So I'll put them in small. Tottenham Hotspur, they're massive for me. They're massive. Not elite, but definitely not just big. You know, everyone knows about Tottenham. They have won some European trophies in the past as well, and they are the 6th most decorated side in the entirety of England. So they're a massive team. Tranmere, everyone seems to know about Tranmere, so I put them in average. I rate them, you know. Warsaw, yeah, just gonna put you guys in small. I do apologise, Warsaw fans, but I like your badge. Watford for me is in average. Not big, but you know, similar again to a Fulham. I think they're a decent side, but I don't think they're a big team. Again, they've not won anything, you know, in the history, so that has to matter at some stage. West Brom, 1 league title, 6 cups. They're in the same tier as like a Sheffield United, Sheffield Wednesday. West Ham, they are a big club, but they're not massive. They're not massive, man. They've been in Championship a few times in the last like 20 years, man. And right now they are in a relegation battle. So they're a big club. West Ham have never won a league title, like a first division. So they can't be a massive. Wigan Athletic won an FA Cup. I think everyone knows about Wigan. I want to put them in big, just because I think they're proper houses, and I like that. I like that about Wigan. But only 1 cup, FA Cup, and that was in 08, of course, against City. I want to put them as big because I feel like they're like a proper house team. But I feel like if Fulham and Norwich and Stoke are in, the average tier, then I kind of can't put Wigan in that tier as well. So I'll put Wigan in average. We got Wolves. Wolves, mate, is a big club, a very big pedigree. 6 cups and 3 league titles, first division. Respect, good respect. They're a decent sized club, same thing as the West Brom. And then as Wycombe Wanderers, they've got a very nice badge. I'll put them in small. And I think that's it. That's it. That is my ranking of the entirety of the 92. Let me know your thoughts if you think this is right or wrong. I don't know too much about the lower league teams. Maybe Colin United has like done really well, but I'm trying to do like the lower team somewhat fairly. If they've won an FA Cup, I'll rate them more highly. Like Oxford has won a cup, so Oxford could be in average. Looking at this list, I don't think there's many things which is really wrong here. Maybe a few teams in TINPOT I put in there just for bants, like like Morecambe being TINPOT because of their badge. Of course, no offense to any fans of these teams. This took me an hour to do, so make sure to smash that button, subscribe if you're new, or if I said your team wasn't big. And yeah, man, thank you all for watching. My name is Vizeh. I'll see you down below in the comments where you're gonna likely completely take a mess out of me. So yeah, have fun, lads.